Our Deputy Secretary Sullivan, Assistant Secretary Wes Mitchell, and many others in the building across the interagency process have worked tirelessly over the past 3 weeks to achieve this unprecedented level of cooperation and also coordination. The end result, 151 Russian intelligence personnel sent home to Moscow, is a testimony of how seriously the world takes Russia's ongoing global campaign to undermine international peace and stability, to threaten the sovereignty and security of countries worldwide, and to subvert and discredit Western institutions. As we said yesterday, the door to dialogue with the Russian government remains open, but if Russia wants to improve relations, it needs to first acknowledge its responsibility for this attack and cease its recklessly aggressive behavior. And with that, I'd be happy to take your questions.
Thanks, Heather. On that, first of all, are you expecting, or do you think there may be more actions still to come from other countries?
I don't know that. We have certainly spoken with a lot of countries over the coming days, but I'll leave it for those countries to announce.
You referred to Deputy Secretary Sullivan and Assistant Secretary Mitchell working tirelessly over 3 weeks to get this, to help coordinate this unprecedented series of expulsions. Russia's Foreign Minister Lavrov said earlier today that the only reason that you were able to get these other countries on board was because you were using blackmail. You, meaning the United States. I'm just wondering if you have a response to that.
I would say that that's ludicrous. This is an effort started by the UK because we know what happened there, the attempted murder of a British citizen and also his daughter on British soil. We came, the United States did, as did many others, to the defense or standing in solidarity with our ally. That is a ridiculous comment that he made.
By far, the U.S., this administration took the biggest in terms of numbers action. Is that is reflective of what? Of just the size of the total Russian delegation in the United States, or is it because you felt, I don't know, strongly that you had to do more than everyone else?
Size of the mission. The United States, obviously, they have a large presence here, a larger presence in the United States than they would in some smaller countries.
And then, of the 60 that you kicked out, can you give us any kind of example of what these people were doing that made them not real diplomats, that made them that allow you to call them spies?
Operating under diplomatic cover. That's how we refer to it. So this is a broad interagency process. It included the weigh-in of other agencies, including the FBI and others in the United States government. So some of this stuff, I don't have access to that kind of information, but I can tell you these were people operating under diplomatic cover. We believe our country is safer by making these Russians go home. We know that they were not here to do good, but rather they could have done something potentially bad.
But how do you know that? Or how do we know that?
Well,
diplomats operate under diplomatic cover as well.
Look, I think if you look at the actions that took place against the British citizen and his daughter, it's clear that perhaps our citizens were not safe based on what happened in the UK.
Are you saying that what happened in the UK was done by Russians operating under diplomatic cover?
I am not saying that. I will leave that for the Brits to say that. But we certainly know that Russia is responsible for that attack. That is something that is not in question. That's something that the Brits and many other countries have said as well. And so we stand with our ally, the UK, and many other countries in recognizing the security issues by having so many Russian spies operating here in the United States.
I'm not suggesting that there aren't Russian spies operating in the United States. I mean, that's ludicrous. There clearly are. How do you know these specific 60 people were
that would be
spies?
That would be an intelligence matter.
I mean, how do you come up with the names of their names?
We provided names to the Russian government. This was put together through the interagency process with the weigh-in of many other U.S. government partners.
Did you provide to the Russians, did you say, diplomat X, we're PNGing him because he or she was seen or did the following?
Matt, I don't think we would provide that level of detail to the public. But if Russia wants to provide that, they're certainly welcome to provide that to you.
Did you tell the Russians that?
I can tell you that we provided Russia with the names of that, and I'm not going to go any further beyond that.
Have the Russians responded to you directly yet?
Well, as you know, the Russian ambassador to the United States was brought into the State Department on Monday. And so we informed them in a professional fashion of our decision.
No, I mean since then.
We have not heard anything. We have not heard anything formally from them. Okay. Hi.